wise man once said, the will to win, the desire to succeed,
what takes guts is to put yourself on the line.
the urge to reach your full potential.
A leader makes the way.
These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. Success Resources is the world's leading events promoter of business, personal development, and wealth creation programs. For over 30 years, we've helped over 10 million people across 30 countries unlock their full potential. From North America, to Europe, to Africa, to Asia, to Oceania, we are the key to your personal success. We open the door to the world's best speakers, such as Anthony Robbins, Sir Richard Branson, Robert Kiyosaki, and T. Harv Eker, to name a few. Praised by Donald Trump for being the world's best, we have over 500 events a year and access to the greatest thinkers, achievers, and motivators of our time. We guide you to the success that lies in every one of us.
But you will not discover your greatness in your comfort zone.
You have to have confidence in yourself.
We have never really truly reached our destination. There's always another level to strive for. Your best is yet to come. Success Resources, your learning partners.
Hello. Welcome back. Welcome to the first day of the week. Welcome to Monday. Bitcoin has gone below 40,000 and even over the last 2 days, nearly approached 37. So what can we expect this week? Is there more financial uncertainty? What's happening to the market? Let's discuss. My name is Richard Tan from Success Resources. We are the world leading education provider. Every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, this is streamed live on Facebook and YouTube. We are making videos tracking the incredible journey of Bitcoin to 100,000. So if this is a journey that you are excited to follow, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash the thumbs up button, and also the notification bell so that whenever we have the video, you are the first to know. Now, I'm very delighted to bring my friend, very passionate friend, Dr. Clemen Chiang, to the program. He's an authority in financial investing, and for those of you who know him, he's a very well-known teacher to many thousands of students all over the world in the art of wealth creation. Dr. Clemen Chiang, welcome.
Yes, Richard, thank you very much for having me in the show. Welcome back to Monday. We are back on the grind. And this week is going to be really fascinating. Many turnaround milestones will be unveiled. And let's dive in straight away. Let's start off the Monday with a real head start.
Yeah, Dr. Clemen, you know that over the last 2 days, Bitcoin has actually went down, even close to 37,000. In fact, 37,500, went down and then went up again. And the thing here we want to discuss today is what can we expect this week? Are there more financial uncertainty? The world is still trying to digest all this from the financial standpoint. Question to you is, what is happening to the market right now with all these things that's happening in the world?
Yes, really fascinating. So many things have happened in such a short time. And that's the reason why we bring about our focus back on Bitcoin. So let me just dive into the chart of Bitcoin right over here. So we have gone through together with all of our viewers and our community. We started at 37,000 right here, and it shoot all the way to 45,400. Now that brings us a short-term euphoria, and inevitable, we have to come back falling down again. So right now with the prolonged war of Russia invasion into Ukraine, right now it has brought us back to 37,900. So this is the reality, and it's not going to change anything. But what is really important for all of us is to grab hold of what exactly is happening in the marketplace right now. So this is the point. I'm going to bring out a really important article that kind of give us a summary what has happened over the past 2 weeks and what is due to happen in the next 2 weeks. Here we go. So the conflict It's everybody's guess right now whether it's going to prolong or eventually lead to a settlement. Now, this is really, really tricky. I've been busy researching on Twitter, making sure I'm getting the latest information coming on stream. And unfortunately, as I plot out the map, I kind of look at the map across the fighting zone, all right? So what do I mean by the fighting zone? So here we go. This is the map of Google Earth. And of course, the place that we are really, really concerned about is right here, Ukraine. And as I tap on Ukraine, we get to see right over here, this is the main areas of conflict. And of course, when we are at Ukraine, and especially the capital Kyiv, which is under siege right now, President Zelensky has been asking for more and more help. The one help that is really the red line is the request for the no-fly zone over the airspace of Ukraine. And this is really very, very tricky. The moment the US or the NATO allies agree to this, President Putin called it the trigger of a war. And that will be a third world war. Now, even that is not being imposed at this moment, unfortunately, the US is sending aircrafts, military weapons through Poland, and then from Poland, migrate those equipment into Ukraine. Now, that is already happening at this moment. And in fact, this is actually the first sign of US being dragged into the war. This has happened in World War II, started off with US or Americans supplying military equipment, aircraft, ammunition, weapons, and so on. And eventually, US got dragged into World War II. We are looking at this right now. Now, I'm going to zoom in this moment to this place called Moldova. And Moldova is one of those examples, just like Ukraine, not part of the NATO, and very near to what we call do not move an inch to the east, that's close to Russia. And right now, all bets are on that from Belarus, this is what's going to happen. They have already entered into Ukraine, and from there, they prepare their ground troops to enter into Moldova. Moldova has a very, very small army, less than 10,000. It's not equipped to fight a war. It is not part of NATO, but yes, urgently requested to join European nations. And that's the reason why the big ambition from the big Russia entering right there, and we can see entering right here, and eventually it will move into Moldova. From Belarus, likewise, entering into Moldova, all right? So this is what we are experiencing right now. Is the fight is to keep extending the territory so that the enemies cannot come close to Russia. And when we study the map, it's really interesting because why? This is all about all out. Russia is not going to backtrack. It is very clear they are ready for a long-drawn battle. It is also very clear they are third world country holding on to first world weapons called the nuclear weapons. This is their leverage. Their leverage to tell everybody, don't mess with us, we'll start a nuclear war. Now, many debates ongoing whether will he eventually press the button or not, but let's come back to the second big data point we're looking at, and that's none other than the big inflation report. Recap, November 6.8%, December 7%, January 7.5%. We're waiting for February, a big inflation report to come out this week. And more than likely, it will probably burst above 8%. With all these things that's ongoing around us, more than likely you'll burst 8%. Now, it's going to be tricky because next week, 15-16, will be the FOMC meeting to determine the interest rate. Fed Chair Jerome has already announced last week, more than likely he will raise a 25 basis point, 0.25%, and just to calm the market down. Now, consecutively, right after March, will he consecutively raise the interest rates? This is a big question. Now, the entire market is divided into two camps at this moment. Now, what are the two camps? Here we go. Straight off right here, we look at a S&P 100 chart. All right, now this is the 100 chart, and many players are calling out that two camps. First camp is calling out the fact that okay, we have not hit the bottom yet. It will continue to go down because of the drag on of the Russia-Ukraine invasion. Another camp says that we have hit the rock bottom, it's time for it to go up. So we are divided, equally divided. Now, who is right, who is wrong? Nobody holds the crystal ball. But what we got to do to ensure that we stay into the game is this. This month, 3 things will happen. So the first thing we already know this week is the inflation data that will influence the second important data, which is, will there be a raise of the interest rate and how aggressive? But I want to bring all our viewers to a very important data point. This is the month of March where snow will start to melt. Nobody talks about it. In fact, the middle of March, snow will already turn those fields into muddy swamps. So the long distant miles of tanks ready to roll into Ukraine, they'll be caught in a swamp very, very soon. And if the Ukrainians are well equipped with the latest missiles from the US, they will just destroy all those well-built bridges and roads so that they are forced to enter into the muddy terrain. And that will slow the entire operation down. This is the immediate movement, 3 data points. And then we scroll down right over here. We look at the Treasury yield 1-year chart. This is also the moment in time investors are thinking, are we going on a growth or value investor approach? Growth meaning to say, great earnings, you deliver, but the entire market still bring your stock price down. Value, you are buying a falling knife, dirt cheap, but the knife continues to fall. So it's a really, really difficult conundrum. And finally, we are looking at oil price. Oil price latest right now kind of spiked above $130 crude oil per barrel. This is unprecedented in a very, very short time. And we're going to look at some interesting stocks right after that. All right, so all this brings up to the week ahead for the key important earnings. And of course, some of the companies are really, really great companies. Like for example, Dick's Sporting Goods. And I was just having my scrum call with my Vietnamese engineers and asking them, hey, can you find out from your friends, from your village, from your, from your classmates, are the workers back in the factories? Because Nike got affected by Vietnam and all apparels related companies will be affected by Vietnam. Majority of the manufacturing takes place in Vietnam at this moment. So you guys can go and check it out as well. And then we go down right over here because some important companies like data companies like DocuSign got smashed last earnings. Are they going to pick up? Most of my friends who are legal firms, they are using DocuSign. I don't get it. Great company, but got smashed, totally destroyed. Then we also look at Ulta Beauty. This is part of what we call the lipstick effect. Everybody still want to look great and beautiful. And of course, we have the electric vehicle, Rivian, is going to be mind-boggling. They'll influence the entire EV market. All right. So these are all the key data coming out on stream. So back to Richard's question. How ready are we? Really, everything boils down to one thing, invasion. How entrenched the invasion will be. Is there going to forward march all the way to Moldova? Is there a declaration of a war in the case of a no-fly zone being imposed by the NATO allies? This is a big question mark. I think everybody is scratching their head really, really tight. Do not trigger Third World War. That's not what we want. Yes, back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Well, actually, my next question is about nuclear, just attacking of nuclear plant. Now, Bitcoin actually fell on Friday as report of Russian attack on a nuclear plant in Ukraine, which actually drive the market down, financial market down. Question to you, Dr. Clemen, is are we expecting a nuclear war or something, or what do you think?
Yes, this is really a mind-boggling question, and nuclear has been debated really, really at length right now. First of all, last week we got a nuclear shock. We were expecting the Russians to kind of bomb Chernobyl, the ex-nuclear plant that kind of imploded. And once that happened, some of my friends already scared to death. They are all ready to press the button and sell off everything that they have. I say, and I ask them, you are selling to do what? May I know? If you are running to where? May I know? I mean, nuclear, it happens. That's Armageddon already. And in today's nuclear, it's unlike Hiroshima, Nagasaki, World War II, and Japanese, when the Americans dropped 2 nuclear bombs, hydrogen bombs, into Japan to force the surrender of Japan in World War II, because the 3rd bomb will be dropping right at the capital. So this is the situation right now. President Putin knows very clearly he has the nuclear leverage. But actually, I formulate the thesis, the more important leverage he has is not nuclear. I think everybody is reading it wrong because everybody right now starts to take side. And one of the most interesting countries to take side is actually India. India is taking on the side, on the Russia side, by remaining neutral. They do not wish to support the US and their allies. And because they go back to history and they claim that, hey, Russia vetoed at the United Nations Council back in the days when India was fighting against Pakistan, was fighting against Bangladesh, and Russia voted for India. And this is a big debate right now. Just from this little crisis, we kind of know that everybody right now forced to take sides. But the most important side that everybody do not wish to bring up is the Great Wall of China. China is obviously on Russia's side. So why is this correlated to this big topic? I mentioned it in the previous week video. Why the heck Bitcoin didn't spike to 100,000 is a big question on my mind, because the money must definitely flow somewhere. And I believe on the thesis that the money has been flowing to China's digital yuan, China's banks, whatever that is being imposed on sanctions against Russia, this part of the money has been flowed to China already. And that's the reason why we don't see a big spike on Bitcoin. So on this question of nuclear, it is super, super duper sensitive, because we are right now just waiting for one more signal, the no-fly zone. And as the war drags, President Zelensky keep making the statement that, this is probably the last time you're seeing me on the meeting or on the TV or anything like this, which is, yes, it's true. The Russian forces are closing in on him, and he's the #1 target. They are even sending in the mercenaries to capture him alive, dead or alive, and there's a price tag already. So this is happening. But because in this desperation, I feel that the war is dragging down all parties to come and support Ukraine. And that will be the trigger to spark off World War III. It's a difficult balancing act. And, this is also the moment in time you're going to see so many divided opinions. From the fact that, #1, Israel bombed Gaza at the Palestinians. Why no one came to the rescue? From the fact that Americans dropped bombs on Iraq, no one came to the rescue. We got to have a really balanced view about all this, right? But this time round, Ukraine is asking for global rescue mission, and it's very, very difficult. So Bitcoin, as a result, fallen back, and we kind of will look back at the chart. It's kind of interesting, because the moment I click on the one-day chart, we are back to the Red Sea again. Holy moly. We are back to Red Sea #2, and I kind of draw from here, starting from here, and dropped all the way to 30,000, right? So officially, unfortunately, we are back to Red Sea #2. Even though we have the really nice breakaway here and a nice breakaway here, but right now we are back to Red Sea #2. All right. So 30 to 40,000, that is the range. And if I cut this 30 to 40,000 range into half, the #1 price point to watch is 35,000. If it breaks 35,000, you'll break to 30,000. So this is the real number we are watching. So we are only a few candles away. And let me show you guys the candles. This is like, what if it plays out like this? Plays out like this and boom, it will break through like this. Will this come true? Depends on the situation of Russia invading Ukraine. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Now, Dr. Clemen, over the last few days, more and more countries are joining, the world, US and NATO support to sanction Russia, right? Zara, PayPal, Samsung, Visa, MasterCard, Microsoft, and so many companies are doing that, right? However, there is actually an article by CoinShare CEO that says that geopolitical tension could transform Bitcoin into a risk-off asset. Now, question to you is, what is this CoinShare CEO? What is its basis of his comment? And do you see that this is a trend in the long term?
Yes, excellent question, Richard, because this is the moment in time many of the major brands, from Coca-Cola to Pepsi-Cola, I think they can forget about drinking Coke ever again in Russia. So you have other international brands like Zara, PayPal, Samsung, a whole bunch of them, from sporting brands or federations, all the way to consumer brands, all the way to mega tech companies, everybody putting a full stop to Russia. So that's the reason why when you read this piece of news, Visa and MasterCard joined PayPal in suspending Russian operations. There's a rumor on the street right now, Putin is going to do a forced close-up of the entire Russia. Nobody allowed to enter, nobody allowed to leave. And there's only one train out of Russia at this moment. This train stops moving, nobody can ever get out again. So there's a mad rush right now for Russians attempting to leave Russia itself. So with this backdrop, we come to this very interesting headline: geopolitical tensions could transform Bitcoin into a risk-free or risk-off asset, says CoinShares CSO Meltem Demirtas. So let me go through a few salient points right over here. And here we go. Let me read out to you. Not only do we have this conflict happening in Eastern Europe, but we also recently had the Canadian truckers and their access to the banking system getting cut off, imposed by the Prime Minister, all right? Which again was an instance where there was a lot of conversation around Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So this kind of came as a shock. What happened in Canada? What happened, of course, in Eastern Europe because of the invasion, but they're trying to combine these two ideas together, right? So I think what we are seeing here is a growing awareness around the world that for the first time, people, especially citizens who really are the victims of war that are fought by superpowers, have a choice. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are non-political global money. They have no interest, they are not politically biased, and they are not controlled by any governments. That is the key proposition of why we have been preaching about Bitcoin all this time. And of course, the CSO continue to say that increased cryptocurrency use beyond the Eastern Europe conflict zones indicates that investors worldwide are looking toward digital assets in response to geopolitical crisis. So that's the reason why maybe this is the start of Bitcoin no longer being a risk-on asset, but potentially over time become a risk-off asset. But there's challenges on ground. Theoretically, it sounds right. Yes, we're going to move money to Bitcoin, but this is valid for those who are mobile. I stress again, there are three groups of people right now in this conflict zone. First group, those who managed to get out of Ukraine, get out of Russia. They can't wait to change to Bitcoin because while getting out, they're not going to keep their safe or safety box at home or in the bank. They move everything out, migrate over to Bitcoin, and they transplant themselves across geographical boundaries. So no problem. They can convert Bitcoin, arrive in the new land, and then use the Bitcoin, convert into the local fiat currency, and continue living their daily lives. Group one. Group two, how about those who are stuck? Stuck in Ukraine, stuck in Russia. There's no reason for them to convert anymore. Because even if they convert, they cannot use. they can't escape. So this is the turmoil that's happening at the grassroots level. We can talk about the theoretical level, but the grassroots level, they're having many challenges. Again, ask a simple question. How do you buy a loaf of bread? How do you buy a bottle of milk with Bitcoin? Not possible. They are still dependent on the local domestic currency, the rubles in Russia and the Ukrainian currency in Ukraine. This is the group number two. How about the group number three? The group number three who is taking advantage of the situation. Whoever is taking advantage of the situation right now, I'm going to share some kind of radical ideas later on and kind of shock you all because, you know, today I've been pondering on a three-letter word. A three-letter word called DEC. DEC kind of stand for December, a short form for December, right? So if I flip over right here and take a look at defense stocks, right now every single defense stocks are flying through the roof, vertical climb. We've not seen that before. And they will keep placing orders for missiles, submarines, aircraft carrier, planes, technology. Why? They will keep placing these orders until end of this year, December 2022. That's why I'm very focused on what will happen in December while I'm standing here in March planning for portfolio management. So defense stocks are going like crazy. And one of the craziest thing, as if they are going to war, China will raise defense spending by 7.1% in 2022. You know how much is 7.1%? That's like crazy. Are they going for a third world war? What? Faster than last year. Never seen before. This is a red flag that nobody wants to talk about. Now, if China starts buying, guess what? Who else will increase the spend? The Americans. This is like a spending spree. Everybody challenging everybody. See who can burn more cash to build more weapons. So this is an arms race that has already started. So remember three-letter word DEC. First D stands for defense. E stands for energy stocks. I mean, the energy stocks right now is really shocking everybody right now. I mean, I can just pull off very quickly and show you what's happening on the crude oil level, which is really, really shocking. Nobody expected this, but it is happening right now as we speak, all right? Here we go. We're going to take a look at crude oil price already breaching 130. Here we go. Boom. This is crude oil. I took on 1 year, and it has touched officially, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, $130. And there's a big spike right here. You know what is the signal of this? It is a true reflection that Russia and China combined has a major threat in energy crisis. They just have to do business with the with each other and don't have to do business with the rest of the world. We are caught. OPEC refused to pump more oil. They say, why should I pump more oil? This is a big time, big opportunity for me to make more money without doing anything more. I just consume my same volume that's being produced each month. The price goes up, I make more money, pure profits. This is the second crisis. And the third crisis is DEC, stands for commodities. Every single commodity right now is raising up, from copper, palladium, and we are not only talking about metals commodity, we're also talking about food as a commodity. Wheat is soaring through the roof right now. We are actually in the middle of a food crisis because majority of people need to consume wheat. And that's the reason why this is a very, very scary time. So How do we prepare? I mean, I stuck to the word DEC to remind myself that what I do today is to plan for what is going to happen in December, end of this year. So the question to all viewers is, how do you see end of this year, 2022? How do you see it play out? Do you see the world becoming a better place, a happier place, or a world that's entering into more and more conflicts, starting from defense? They need to buff up their defense, starting from energy crisis. You know, we need the fossil fuel to drive the economy, and lastly, going to commodities. And if everyone pursuing a electric vehicle, and copper is going up, what's going to happen? Rivian tried to raise its price, got a backlash, took a step back and say, sorry, we'll honor the original price we sold to you. Too bad, it's too late. The stock price took a punch. So this is the new world order. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen. Well, as you're mentioning that with this war, the price of oil is like skyrocketing, right? So the oil price is going up, petrol price is going up. In fact, you know, it hit record level since 2008, according to an article. But question to you, Dr. Clemen, is with all this oil price going up, which means that price of goods are going up, inflation is going to get up. So as an ending question, what advice would you give to ordinary people who are listening in right now?
Yes, Richard, this is, this is the critical moment in time where we try to balance both sides of the equation. And, while we're talking about all these things going up, we're also looking at how the heck a fund called the Electric Capital raised $1 billion to launch crypto venture and token funds in the middle of it all. So business as per usual. People are still very, very positive about the cryptocurrency market. They are not giving it up. And in fact, right over here, money is being moved to the Canadian Bitcoin spot ETF, which we have been pushing the Securities Exchange Commission to approve it. Damn it, they are damn slow on it. So the money outflow has gone all the way to Canada. And you will see this little price tick up here. The ETF added 2,409 Bitcoin over the past 3 days. Look at the tick right there, right? So business as per usual. And then go right over here, the transfer volume for exchanges for Bitcoin. And if we kind of squeeze all the way here, follow this yellow line. Now, the yellow line means it's a total transfer volume to exchanges. It kind of creep up right over here, and then it drop. Everybody refused to sell. This is the meaning of it. The moment you don't move your coins to exchange, you are expected to hold it for a long term. Right now, everybody hold their ground because they know this crisis will play out in a very, very strange way. Now, what do I mean by a very, very strange way? I bring back to you the 1 hour chart. This is what I meant by a very, very strange way. It can go as low as 37,000, and out of a sudden, it can spike all the way to 45,000. Now, yes, it has dropped right now back all the way to the level of 37,000, back to square one. I mean, point A right here is no difference from point B right here. The question is, what is the little trigger that will cause it to go to point C? It takes just a little thing only. A little thing, boom, it go back again. So we remain very, very hopeful about Bitcoin. This is the instrument of choice at this moment. If you say, hey, teacher, I want to get into energy stocks. Hey, I want to get into defense stocks. I want to get into commodity stocks. But guess what? You're not well trained in it. You're not spent sufficient time thinking about the issues. So you're going to move very fast. You're going to be affected by it. But a much easier alternative for you to think about, no-brainer, is Bitcoin. That's it. I drawn 2 circles. Worst case, hit 30,000, go back again. This is the definition of Red Sea zone number 2. So hope everybody have a clarity why we are doing this program, bring back to the core value. Spiking all the way to 100,000 is our belief for Bitcoin. Putting all these issues together, one thing doesn't change. We have a fixed supply of 21 million coin. We got more confusion every day, every passing day, more and more confusion, contortion, whatever complication that you can call it, is messing up everybody's mind, but Bitcoin doesn't change. 21 million fixed supply, we just need a little tweak and it goes to the moon. Back to you, Richard.
Thank you, Dr. Clemen, for your word of wisdom. We do our best to research facts and data from the market and present to every one of you. With the facts and data, you make an informed decision for your financial future. We are very, very bullish on Bitcoin, and secret to success is wake up early, work as hard as Dr. Clemen, and own Bitcoin. So thank you very much, and till we meet again on Wednesday, God bless.
We believe that investing in our education
has the highest leverage and is the greatest equalizer.
Regardless of background, everyone can have the same opportunities in education.
We believe in doing what is right, not what is easy.
We believe in anything that is worth doing, we do it with passion and excellence.
We believe that happiness is the key to success.
If you love what you're doing, you're already successful. And that both success and failure are temporary, worth sharing about and even celebrating.
That said, we believe we have had our fair share of both.
Yay!
We believe that when the market is tough, we can be tougher.
We believe the best product should win, not the best sales pitch.
We believe that winners are winners because they don't quit.
We believe that the biggest sin is to make learning boring.
We believe in making decisions and owning our results.
We believe in innovation to continually provide value to all around us.
We believe that together, everyone achieves more.
We believe that real leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders.
We believe that we can learn from our competitors.
We believe that women work harder, do better, and are more committed.
We believe it's okay to be proven wrong.
It's okay to change your mind.
And it's okay to cry when you're having a really rough day.
We believe in giving everyone the benefit of the doubt.
We believe in always saying please and thank you.
We believe that if dreaming is free, then we should dream big.
and then working hard to achieve it.
We believe that if we have knowledge, it's our duty to pass it down.
We believe that we shouldn't teach something we ourselves don't believe in.
We believe it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
We believe in saying sorry and meaning what we say.
We believe in being high-tech, means adding a human touch.
We believe that no one has all the answers.
Not even us.
But we go find out and we learn.
We believe that learning never ends, and once you stop learning,
you start dying.
We believe that one person
or one great idea
can change the world.
That's why we believe in helping you grow and succeed.
And with your help, we can change lives globally.
We believe.
We believe. We believe.
Thank you for your belief in us.